step, a combination of hip hop, pumping it non-stop, gives the crowd a notion, from motion to they drop. Anatomy moves to the bass that pounds, and the sound the percussion is throwing down. And I found that no song is complete without the ample.
So this is Darius A. Stanton. Welcome to the Peace of the Morning Show. Come on now. Darius A. Stanton.
It's gonna be ready with a new logo. We gonna give you something in the phone, so we can reach it in and out, in and out, in and out.
Baby, come on now.
Friday, 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 Friday,
self-possession to work. said, blow by, blow by, blow by, got to blow by, blow by. A person who is charitable expresses a brotherly love, and devotion is a service to the Almighty One whom you love. With courage we can marshal our very own power, and with precision we become exact, more accurate by the hour. These are the virtues for you and for me. This is the way that I live, and these are the things that I see. My mama, she told me, she said,
Say what? Say what now? Say what? Say what now? Say what? Now look here. How y'all feel out there tonight? Y'all feel all right? Y'all feel like throwing down? Say what, child? Let me hear you say hell yeah. Say hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah, yeah. Then you move that. So sweet. Stay ready tonight, y'all. Stay ready tonight. And listen, I swear they look so good out there. They look so good. All the beautiful ladies in the house tonight, y'all. We're doing the boogie tonight, y'all. I really want to get on down, y'all. Everybody say get some boogie tonight, y'all. Ooh. Let me talk about that. Good God. Have mercy. Oh, shush that. Say what? They are fired up tonight, y'all. They are fired up tonight, yeah. Have mercy. Don't put everybody on this thing tonight, baby. Oh, do it, y'all. Have mercy. Y'all ready to wind it on up now?
These tickets, they got VIP for $250 and VIP for $500. Double funk. Celebrate this birthday. Come on, y'all.
Say what? You wanna get on up, y'all?
That's right. Welcome to the Beats in the Morning Show this morning, y'all. You got a special guest. Oh, you got a hot topic today. We're talking about pulling your pants up. Feel it. 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Are you still sagging? Why are you bragging? And right now you need to be putting that belt on and you show the young people how to work it. But they're still sagging in some places. But I gotta give it to a lot of young brothers. They're pulling it up. That's right, we got Mr. Austin in the house this morning. He can talk to us about sagging and the event that they're doing. Fresh, that's F.R.E.S.H. I'll let you know what that stands for. This is Darius A. Stanton with the Peace of the Morning Show. Welcome live here at www.boxwav.com. If you want to see us in full screen, if you're looking at us from some form of social media, you can check us out at www.boxwav.com. Peace in the morning. What's up, my good brother?
How you doing this morning, man?
Oh, man, you looking sharp, brother.
Appreciate it.
I know you're doing some duties today. You got a career day that you're going to be addressing some young people at a school.
Yeah. The Andrew Jackson. Definitely, that was actually an invite from a guy who's running for Council C7, Mr. BJ Page.
Okay, shouting out BJ Page. That's right, good brother. Working in the community, no doubt.
Yeah, definitely. So, definitely it's an honor to be here on this show, to be able to express what we're doing in the community on behalf of not just our community, but also for our people and also for all the young men and young guys that's in this community as well.
That's right.
So basically, as you just said, that our nonprofit is called Fresh, and Fresh means fully restoring every son's hope, and it's based off the aspect of Romans chapter 12, verse 2, be transformed by the renewing of your mind, because we believe if you change your thinking, then you can change your actions.
That's right.
You know, so basically we have an event, and that event is coming up on June 16th. It will be from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and we can use some donations as well. You know, we're trying to get free belts to give out to the young men, and that we just ask the parents to bring the young men out so you can get a free belt, and we show them a documentary about the stigma that where it really came from to have your pants sagging. But one thing about it ain't just talking about just having your pants sagging. We're going to also have some dialogue, because it's about how we see ourselves too, because how we see ourselves is how we present ourselves to other people. So, you know, definitely it's important to, you know, try to empower our young men to just be the kings that they really are, you know, because we don't have that. And, you know, we see all the things going on in society nowadays where they tearing us down left and right, but at the same time, it's about building each other up. So that's our premise. You know, we looking forward to a good turnout. It's going to be at 3737 Branch Avenue in Temple Hills, Maryland. That's actually the suites over top of Iverson Mall, Suite 120. So just show up, bring your children out, bring your sons out, you know, and we looking forward to seeing you out there.
No doubt. Well, look, you know, you brought up a couple good issues. One is just being able to, you know, the name of the organization, Fresh, being able to focus on restoring young brothers and then focusing on your mind, you know, because we know that's what controls us. What we eat, what we think. Bottom line. And so once we understand that, you know, to have models like yourself, whether you're in a suit, whether you're in a dashiki, whether you're in a full African garb, whatever it is, it's about how you present yourself. Excuse me, and that's what we really, you know, focused on, you know, with regard to this. And you think about what's taking place. You know, we'll talk a little bit about some of the news that's happened over the past week. You know, the Starbucks situation. Brothers in the restaurant or in the Starbucks, and, you know, got removed by the police, arrested.
That's right.
You know, the city gave them $1 and then $200,000 towards a youth organization or youth programming, and then Starbucks gave them an undisclosed amount. Okay, so that's that piece. But, you know, the image of what would make somebody tell you first and foremost you can't be in there. You know, secondly, you know, is it your pants sagging? Is it your shirt? You know, is it how you all of those things? And really, first and foremost, it's just like a woman when they say women they shouldn't wear mini skirts if they don't want to be raped, right? Well, you know, if you got a hoodie on, that does not mean you want to be arrested.
Exactly.
So those images should not precipitate that. But it's more than just people seeing you and being arrested and all those things. You know, it's really more about how you carry yourself and present yourself, and whomever you are. Do you want to be outside with your hind parts out? Give us a call at 240-719-2560 and tell us, you know, what you think about, you know, grown men, teenagers. It's a whole lot different now than it was 10 years ago.
Of course.
You think so?
Yeah, it is.
Is it better or worse?
As far as the way the clothes is sometimes it's going on a trend that's kind of a little bit worse, you know, because I remember in our day, you know, it wasn't about having your pants sagging, you know, and you know, and
how old are you?
I'll be 42 this year.
Okay, brother, right on. I just
still
turned 40.
look like 22 though.
I know that's right.
Right.
I just turned 48. Now
Yeah.
I know that's great, so I'm working with that.
Yeah, but you know, but I'm not saying, but the problem, you just brought up a good point. You know, just like with the Starbucks situation, that will cause them to not allow those guys to stay in there when, you know, it's a public place. So basically, we know that there's stereotypes that comes along with certain things, you know, whether it's what you got on, whether it's how you look, or whether it's the area you in, you know, you could be stereotyped. So when you see guys and you see young people, it's not like, you know, people first tell people pull up your pants and then not even try to know your name. You know what I'm saying? So our event really is not to try to, you know, just basically talk about pulling up your pants. It's just about trying to find out who you are and what makes you tick and how we can help you along the way as well, right? But now in the day and time, that it's important for guys to realize that if it's certain things that you stereotype, don't give them nothing to stereotype you by. You know, I mean, it's nothing wrong with having your pants on your waist. And I know everybody like those fashion belts, you know, having the Gucci or the H and all that on your belt and everything. They want you want to show your belt. But that even says something to the way we think. Because if I gotta have a belt on, if I buy a Gucci belt and I want to show it off, I'm gonna wear my pants low enough so everybody can see it. What's that saying about me? That I need somebody's validation? You know, so we think about that and how we, you know, really what's the motives behind our action? What's the root cause of why we do certain things? We don't think about that sometimes. We don't go as deep as that, you know. So, you know, and like even with Instagram, you know, everything, you know, is about who following who, or how many followers I got. You know what I'm saying? So we do things to put ourselves in a particular picture that other people will say, oh, I like that, I like that, I like that. But at the same time, that's seeking self validation for somebody else when you should feel that on your own self. You know, if you own your own worth, then you ain't got to worry about what nobody else thinking about you. You know what I'm saying?
So you touched on another excellent point. We're going to get a little music in here for the Funky Friday crew because, you know, this is Friday.
Okay.
But we wanted to hit it hard because we know this is a very important issue. And when you have people, another issue that I'm throwing out there on the table, when you have people who have so much influence, like a Kanye West, you know, he made the statements that he made, you know, in his most recent follow-up to the song that came out with him and T.I. By the way, little pitch, May 19th, come on to Bowie State University Arts and Cultural Festival featuring T.I., Angela Ye from the Breakfast Club, a number of other agency and business executives in the arts and entertainment field will be out there. So come on out to Bowie State University, the Fine Arts Performance Center, phenomenal facility that is just state-of-the-art, you know, in terms of arts and technology. A lot of classes will be provided as well as certificates for developing a home, how to build a home studio and engineering. But, you know, when you look at the brand, we want to be so associated with other things versus ourselves. You mentioned the belt. So, you know, people they tuck everything in except for the belt. So you got the belt buckle showing. So you pushing Gucci, you pushing Louis Vuitton or whatever it is that you pushing. But do you have stock invested in that?
Exactly.
You know, where is your investment, your return on that investment that you are promoting? Because you are a walking billboard. People putting songs people's music or their items in their songs, and they don't even have no contract with the company to promote it. They just using it because it seemed to be fly. So our whole redevelopment of who we are and our image, you know, has to be really focused on self and not other people, other things, and how you carry yourself when you walk out the door makes all the difference in the world. My grandfather told me if a woman got on slippers outside and a scarf, that she's not for you. And he told me that when I was in junior high school, right? Same thing applies to men. If you outside with your hind parts out and all you can see, you see your underwear, what kind of representation is that? You know, give us a call, 240-719-2560. It's grown men that's still sagging. You know, they still think that in order to reach young men, you got to sag like them or whatever the case may be. And let me be clear. I remember when, you know, we were in high school, we didn't sag pants, but we did this little thing. It was a DC thing, for real. You twisted your cuff at the bottom, roll it up, and then looked a little like Tom Sawyer, for real. But that was what we did. Now, who started it? We followed the trend, you know, and there's been other trends out there. But when you start showing your hind parts, you know, as a man, and, you know, when we come back, we'll talk about how that really comes into play. Right. 240-719-2560. Jump in this conversation. Good morning, Frederick Gaskins. Thank you for sharing this, brother. Tynese Pack, good morning. Welcome to you. Baki, what's up, brother? Ansela Ramsey will be on Ansela next week talking about, you know, she brought us that natural hair care 2 weeks ago, and we're looking forward to having her back in the studio as she shares more wisdom with our female viewers. So when we come back, we're going to funk it up a little bit here on the Peace in the Morning Show. Give us a call, 240-719-2560. You want to be a part of this conversation. Positive news is on its way, and then we're going to talk back to Mr. Alston about Fresh and what they're doing in the community. Right here on the Peace in the Morning Show.
That's right. That's right.
Listen, Cat in the Hat used to do smack. Nine does clap. He can't get back. Take it away. away. I'm talking about cat in the hat. Used to do smack, now he does crack. He can't get back. Take it away, take it away, take it away. We talk about cat in the hat. Used to do smack, now he does crack. He can't get back. Take it away, take it away, take it away. Get up, down, cat in the hat. Used to do smack, now he does crack. He can't get back. Check it out, listen on up, y'all. I'm busted. That cat has took away all of his crack. Stuck him in a 3x4, and they said there people outside the door. No try to escape because you won't get far. The things you done they was against the law. I know your mother told you all about the ups and downs. You did the crime, you got to do the time. Cat in the hat used to do smack. Now he does crack. He can't get back. Take him on back. Take him on back. Take him on back, y'all. I'm talking about cat in the hat. Used to do smack. Now he does crack. He can't get back. Take him away. Take him away. Because I'm busted. That cat has took away all of his crack. Stuck him in a 3x4, and they said there be outside the door. So don't try to escape because you won't get far. Things you done it was against the law. I know your mother told you all about ups and downs. You did the crime, you got to do the time. Cat in the hat used to do smack. Now he does crack. Can't get back. Take it away, take it away, take it away. Because the cat in the hat used to do smack. Now he does crack. He can't get back. Because you live your life the fast lane. Same place, get back up.
No, it ain't no jive. On the Stanton in the Morning Show, that's how we flow. Got my main man, Anthony Dowell. We got Mr. Brother Austin in the studio. Welcome back, brother, to the Peace in the Morning Show. This is Darius A standing in for Darrell Barnes, Delegate Darrell Barnes, as well as Queen Ayasudabek. She'll be on the show in a moment to share with her holistic sexual healing and family lifestyles. We talked about a little positive news that's going on. At least we're going to share some. A student in Baltimore City. You know, we talk about images of us, and this is one of the, key components of the Peace in the Morning Show, is to promote young people that are doing positive things. There's a young man in Baltimore City who's a high school student who now is been accepted to 8 Ivy League schools. 8 Ivy League schools. Now, do you hear about that? Is it promoted? Is it on a billboard? Is it going viral? I'm not sure, but we want to make sure that it does. We're going to post this on our Facebook page, all our Instagram, Twitter, all our social media, because we want people to know that young people are constantly making strides.
That's right.
One of the things that you see, I see often, is young men, and we ran a program which is still in existence. Shout out to the brothers in Baltimore City, Student Minister Carlos Muhammad and Brother Andrew Muhammad, Brother Sterling up there at the Baltimore City Juvenile Justice Center, where we put a boys club literally inside the juvenile jail.
Okay.
And we were there 7 days a week. The program's still going. When we started about 9-10 years ago, they had 75 fights or incidents a month in this facility. And in the next 2 years, we had gotten it down to like 15 fights, and it's been consistent all that time. But a large part of it is because they saw a model, and this is what the young people said when we asked them for the evaluation. They were genuine, they respected them, they were relative, but they also appreciated the way that we dress. Sometimes we might come in sweatsuits, other times we might come in suits, other times we might just come casual or with a staff shirt on, but however we came, we were presented in a form where we were orderly. Now, orderly can be, it's like beauty in the eyes of the beholder. The key, though, is appropriateness. How are you presenting yourself as a king? That mindset. What does that look like? What does a king look like? What does a queen look like? What does that royalty present? How does that present it? And if they don't see that, then how do they know how to be that? That's right. And so, how can we encourage brothers? Because I've seen a lot of young men, when they see you walking up, they automatically pull their pants up. With just based on when they see real men. And I use the term real man, just a man who takes care of himself, takes care of his family, doing the very best that he can to provide for this community. Real man, that's what I define. But when they see that and they feel that spirit, they automatically start to tighten up. You know, and so what can we do? What can we do to encourage other brothers to be able to set that model for our young people and then be able to relate to them?
Well, it's definitely, like you said, basically it's about the mind frame, you know. Like we were just talking, it's other ways to connect with individuals than to try to look like everybody. Who told us that it's something is bad about being different?
Right.
And I'm going to use another term as far as outside of different. I'm going to say unique. Who told us that it's not, that we can't be unique? That
Right.
you make your own way, you make your own style, and you present yourself a certain way, and that causes other people to want to present themselves and who they are. Like we were just talking, it's grown men right now that don't even know who they are because they got caught up in the crowd and never found out their own identity. So how can you really present yourself to a young man that really doesn't know who they are when you don't know who you are? So it's important for us to change our thinking and understand that we got you know, they've had this term called swag. So I feel as though like swag is this. People say, oh, it's the way you carry yourself, how you know you cool, you got this or whatever, you got that. But real swag is this. It's strength, wisdom, anointed, and gifted. If you know that's how you've been birthed, if you know that's who you are, then walk in that swag, walk in your strength, walk in your wisdom, walk in your anointing, walk in your giftedness. Like the young man in Baltimore, he's showing people what real swag look like. You know, so what I'm saying is, man, when we come in contact with our young men, you know, and then even with our old men, let's present ourselves in a way where they see the character inside of us and they don't try to find their name in a name.
Right.
You get where I'm coming from? So, like, man, this whole event, man, just basically, man, about empowerment for real. You know, about empowerment, you know, understanding who we are and then walking in it too. You know, because one thing about it is you destined to go in the wrong direction if you don't know where you headed.
Brother, break that swag definition down for me, because you said something. It's a young brother. He's been on the show before out of Baltimore City. When he was 17, he started something called Cool Peoples. You know, basically it was, you know, if you respect your mother, you cool. You know, if you go to school, you cool. If you working, you cool. All the things that people kind of put a negative eye on, or you know, now the most ratchet thing is cool. The most negative or raunchy thing is cool. But he switched that around. But break that swag down for us again, because I think that's another part of the whole image. You know, not carrying books to make yourself look dumb is foolish.
That's right.
But people do it, and as you said, they go through all their whole teenage lives and not knowing who they are, and then become men and have children and not know who they are. Break that swag definition down for us.
Man, basically, man, when it really come down to it, when you really got swag, you walking in that strength of character, knowing that what you presenting to other people, they see the strength in you. They want that same strength, so they start to try to emulate it in a good way. Now, it's nothing wrong with being an example and following somebody that's giving you a good example. And then when it comes to that wisdom is basically this proper application of what you already know. A lot of us know what we should be doing and what we're supposed to do, but we don't do it and we don't apply it properly. So it's important for us to start applying what we know properly, and that's how we walk in that wisdom. And then the anointing aspect. You know, we all have been anointed in some way, some fashion or form. Anointed to do something great, anointed to be someone great, because we are great. And when we recognize that, grab hold of that, then we're going to run after that. And then when it comes down to being gifted, we are all gifted. We all have talents in some way, fashion or form. You know, yours might be working on cars. Somebody else might be in the engineer and doing things on the radio. Whatever it may be, you gifted to do something great. So you got to realize that greatness lies in you, and when you realize that, then you can really walk in your swag.
If you ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for brothers to work with your young people, this young man, you know, has got something powerful that he's offering. Brother Austin is with the organization Fresh. Give him your website, please. The
website is Fully Restoring Every Son's Hope 2003.org.
Give it to him again, please.
Fully Restoring Every Son's Hope 2013 at .org.
And the event that you all are having is around helping young men understanding why it is that they need to pull their pants up.
Exactly.
Why you need to pull and the psychological component that's tied to that. And then the real deal, you know, y'all gonna show the video that explains where that actually came from and why people are actually walking around and don't even know that that's tied to prison. And that whole concept and understanding that, you know, we just had a law that was a bill that was they were working to put in the law, Senate Bill 122 here in the state of Maryland, that was going to send people to jail for 40 years for second offenses, you know, and almost like a 3 strikes you out, but they cut the 3 off and just made it 2.
Yep.
You know, but fortunately it didn't go through. But so many young people are in jail now, you know, compared to before, you know, it was older people who were committing the crimes. And now you got teenagers that are taking adult pleas and things of that nature and going to jail, you know, at very young ages, full of teenagers, 21, 22, 23-year-olds. And so that mentality about having your pants swag down, sagging, coming from jail, coming from being abused physically, sexually in jail, and that you are ready to have somebody into you, that is, you know, it's number one, it's counterproductive because we already have a number 100 black women for 83 black men. And when you have those kind of numbers and then you're promoting and allowing something that continues to decline the reproduction of our folks, of our people, it's a problem.
It is. It's definitely a problem. And when you think about, you know, basically that the United States is basically 5% of the global population, but yet we have 25% of the global prison population, and it's probably more now. So it's a sad state of affairs, and when it comes to how many or what it looks like what's behind the wall, they look like me and you. That's right. And really what it comes down to is that we never really recognized, or no one never really told us our own potential. Because, like, again, our examples are lacking, but when we find that our examples are lacking, we need to be able to step up to the plate to be that example. And this is just a quick story right quick. It was about a woman who lived in New York City, true story. She drank a Coke a day and ate a hot dog a day. She lived like a bag lady, and then, like, you know, every day she did the same thing over and over again. Then it was a week span that she never showed up to the hot dog stand on the corner by her apartment building. So the guy asked the landlord had he seen her, and he was like, no, you know what, I haven't seen her. So he went to check on her, knocked on the door. She ain't answered. Knocked again. She ain't answered. So he opened the door with his key, went in, and called her name. They saw her in her bedroom, saw a leg hanging off the bed. He went in and found out that she had passed away. So they came, NYPD came and everything. They later on inquired, like, what happened to her? Come to find out, man, she died from malnutrition. But this was the ironic thing about the whole scenario, is that it was $1 million in cash in her mattress. She had the means to live wealthy, but didn't use it. And so it is with us, man. We got the means to live wealthy, but we don't use it. And it's important for us to realize, man, we got to take that cash out the mattress and start using what we got.
Take that cash out the mattress and check. Truly, the first symbolism that you could tie cash to is our spirit. Bring that spirit out.
Our self-worth, man.
Bring that spirit out. And then secondly, bring that intellect out. We have it. You know, bring that intellect out. You talked about the passion, you know, the things that we have that are passion, that we're passionate about, the skills and gifts that God gave us that we need to be able to use. And if you don't, A, have a vehicle, B, have a model to see that it can be used. You know, I had images of seeing my father actually broadcast basketball games when I was 7, 8, 9, 10, well, maybe middle and high school, right? So that was an image of mine. You know, I had images of my mother working with children. That was an image of mine. So as I grew, those became some of the behaviors that I followed and I illustrated and demonstrated. And so it's creating that model, you know, for young people. And so I really commend you and the brother, the founder,
Anthony Wilson.
Anthony Wilson.
Our director. We also have a field director, which is James Hicks. And basically, you know, us as a core group, we have a lot of experiences that we can share with our youth, as well as those that are returning back to our society. Our returning citizens, we help out children from 5 to 17, and even a little bit older if it's needed. And also, too, we help our returning citizens to be reacclimated back into the community.
Is there a number that people can reach you on?
Yeah, it actually is, and I'm gonna reach this number, take this number out right quick.
Okay, and while he's looking for that number, we definitely want to be able to support it. There's a family and friends event coming up July 21st in Annapolis, Maryland at the Anne Arundel County Fairgrounds in Crownsville. On July 28th will be the Family Unity Day in Annapolis as well, featured by the Annapolis LOC. So definitely some great events that people can come out, bring their families, children, men, women, babies, the whole 9 yards. A lot of positive music, good food, natural health care products, things of that nature. Vendors can also participate in both of those events. You want to give us that number?
Yeah, you can reach us at 240-938-2166. That's 240-938-2166. Or you can go to our website, which is fully restoring every son's hope 2013.org.
Excellent, excellent. My brother, it's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Been a pleasure being here.
Austin looking sharp,
man.
Young, gifted, and black. When we come back, when we come forward, we're gonna have our very own Queen Ayasuda Bay in the studio. Holistic Sexual Healing and Family Lifestyles. This brother's from Fresh. That's Fresh.
And one more plug. Make sure you show up on June 16th. Come on up to the suites over top of Iverson Mall. Bring your youth. And if you don't want to come out, you can't come out, you want to support us, go ahead and donate something for us so we can get some belts, or even donate the belts and we be ready to hand them out. We appreciate y'all. God bless you.
That's right. My brother.
My man.
Hey, we're going to crank it up for Funky Friday. Hold tight. We'll get you straight on your mic. When we get back, when we get forward, we're going to be cranking it up live with the queen herself, who's in the studio, and you know how she brings it on the Peace in the Morning Show. Welcome back. This is Darius A. Stanton live here at the Peace in the Morning Show with the Queen. Good morning, Queen.
Oh, great.
Look at you got on your green.
I'm a green.
It looks
Hi,
so
son.
beautiful,
Peace
man.
and love.
You make me smile. You make me happy, man. You look so good.
Yay.
Oh, man, I'm so happy that you're looking good.
Thank
good.
you. I feel wonderful.
Oh, isn't that a blessing?
And I'm so thankful to be here. Great Friday. Happy Funky Friday.
There you
Peace
go.
and love.
No
Happy
doubt
give thanks
about
and
it.
praises. Really want to bring everybody's attention to longevity. That's what I want to say. Are we coming back?
No, we just played a little I Always Love My Mama just because.
Okay, well, I
just
wanna
'cause that's
talk
how we
about
do. I always love my
longevity.
mama because she's so good to me.
Yeah, I love my son, and I love my sons, and I love my sons. And I give thanks and praises because love is everything. This morning I want to talk to you about longevity. Longevity really is loving yourself for a long time. What is longevity? How long you can live. You can live long. You have no control over life and death. However, you have control over your destiny. What you want to do in life, aspire to do that. Develop a plan, a holistic approach to healing, healthy lifestyles. What does that mean? Every decision you make has to be a whole decision. It includes what's on your mind, what's in your heart, what's in your gut. That gut level feeling that you just know that you know that you know this is the right thing to do. And when you get that, it's called fusion, not confusion, fusion. Everything working together in harmony. So the mind isn't saying one thing, the heart is saying something else, and the stomach is talking a whole nother story. No.
All in one.
Everything is, as just you said, all in one. So in longevity, let's talk about relationships. Why don't relationships last? Years ago, people got married, they never got divorced. Men went to war, the wives were right at home waiting for them. If there was a child in the home, the mother was raising the child. When the father got back, if he was only home for 3 days, he impregnated her. It was amazing. If he was home for a month, he impregnated her. If he was home for 2 years, she got 2 babies. Just like that. Years ago, women, especially black women, had not 2 children, not 5, 10, 15, and 20 children from the same womb. How did that happen? With, by the way, the same man. There was no such thing in those days necessarily in the family unit as the running wood. You know what the running wood is. The wood that stops here and knocks it off, stops here and knocks it off, stops there and knocks it off. You call it the running wood. It has no base. Today, women, in many cases, are accepting less than what they deserve. Men, in many cases, are accepting less than what they deserve. What do I mean by that? Rudeness. If you're in a relationship in the very beginning and the man is talking rude to you, or the woman is talking rude to you, or abrasive, abrupt, aggressive, you already know you don't want to wake up with that every day. So why are you staying in the relationship? Why are you trying to create longevity in something that's not good for you? It's not good for your mind because you're doubting yourself. It's not good for your heart because you can't put your whole heart in it. It's not good for your gut because you're feeling butterflies and they're not happy. You're nervous. A relationship is not going to always be smooth running. But at least there has to be some sort of cohesiveness, some sort of harmony that we know when we get too far, let's bring it back in. When we get to the point where we're yelling, we need to take a break. You go your way, I'll go mine. I'll sleep upstairs today. I'll sleep on the couch. But don't keep the argument going. You want longevity for life. You want longevity for a good job that you love, a career that you've developed, a business that you really wanted, and you put it together, and now it's got a great foundation, and it's working. You want longevity for that. You don't want longevity in argumentative situations. You don't want longevity in abrasive situations. When they get to slamming the door, that's a sign. Write it down. When they start slamming the door and you allow that, and when I say allow, I don't mean grab them by the arm. No, I mean, why did you have to slam the door, honey? Talk soft. When things get riled up, talk soft. If I didn't have this mic on, I would really act it out for you. Like, dive on the floor and put my hands down. Put my hand, honey, please. Ain't too proud to beg. Please, don't yell at me. If you're in a relationship where both of you are calling each other mother effers, kiss my this, get the F out of here, you ain't S, you get on my D nerves. Well, you're in a bad relationship. And if you started out like that and you kept it going, you deserve it. If you're in a relationship where a man comes in, you're always beautiful, and you just happen to be talking to a brother and he snatches you like this, if you don't know karate, martial arts, of any form of self-defense, and you can't uppercut that, boom, real fast, get away from him. Next thing. Do you want longevity in moving in with somebody who you don't know? I don't think so. Too many women, too many men are moving into an apartment or a house, and all of a sudden, neither of them get along.
Didn't even know each other.
The point I'm making, you don't know the person. You know, in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, we had songs about that. Mama said there'll be days like this. If you don't know me by now, you will never know me. Mama said, boy, you better take time to know her. It's not an overnight thing. We had songs that taught us how to live. People all over the world join hands. Soul Train, Love Train. Our songs talked about coming together. Our songs talking about unification of spirit, mind, and body. How long the love lasts. Because we make it last. We keep the fire burning. We keep massaging the feet. All the way up to the ankles. Then up the thighs. And forevermore. Massaging. And it's so involved. It makes you bring the mind together, because the mind starts thinking, well, if I can do her feet and she's doing this, let me do her ankles. Let me do the knees. Those knees, if you're not running every day and jumping and hopping, or you're not doing your funky jooch, guess what? Your knees are going to start hurting. Because we were given these tools to use wisely. And if you're not careful, you will replace yourself as a robot. What do I mean by that? You don't want to walk? So you get a wheelchair and rent it to take you around. I've already seen it. People who can walk, renting wheelchairs to get them around faster. That's a bad sign. You're lazy. That's a bad sign. You don't even know your maker. Because if you did, you would know your maker does not want you to substitute your legs while they're working. Longevity. Do things that will last a long time. There is no quick fix in this life. Longevity, clean your blood. Look up blood cleansers. Get good herbal books. Number 1, Survival into the 21st Century. Remember that. That's a good book. It's pink. You can get it on Amazon. Survival into the 21st Century. A holistic approach to health and healing. African Holistic Health Book by Dr. Africa with a K. Africa Holistic Health Book by Dr. Africa with a K. Look for things that can help you to help yourself and pass it on. Longevity. Give it to your children. Give it to your mate. Give it to your friends. You know, I tried that alkaline water that they talked about with celery and cucumber, and it works. You should try it. Put it in a glass. Make 4 bottles every day and drink at least 3. You're sluggish and keep going to the doctors because you don't want to do something for yourself. Laziness is destroying us as a nation because we want convenience. Convenience means we're really willing to take whatever we can get to make things easier for us. That's sad. Because in that, it means you're not using what you were born with. You don't want to get a rag and a mop and a bucket and wash the floor or wash the sink and the toilet and the tub. You want some quick wipes. Something that contaminates the earth. You don't want to shine that mirror with vinegar and newspaper. You want some quick fix. And all I'm saying, everybody, empress, kings and queens, prince and princesses, we got to do better with longevity. A woman, 149, had a daughter, 93, in India in the Himalayas. People live to 170, 120. There's a man right now, I think he's in Jamaica, I have to look it up, 120, 110. Look up what people are doing to live longer and see if you can do that too. Exercise every day. Deep breathing, take it in with your nose. Let it out with your mouth. Deep breathing. Before you get ready to say that bad word, breathe. Don't be a bully. Don't say bad words. Don't be too high. When you're talking to people, don't be too high. Get on their level.
Meet them where they are. And take
Meet
them to
them
the
where
next
they
level.
are.
That's right.
And reach out. A good teacher reaches. If you're not reaching, you're not teaching. If you have to put a child out of the class, you failed. That child shouldn't get an F or an E. The teacher should. Because you're hired to teach the child. It's your job. Not to send them to the office, but to be creative and innovative and flexible enough to find a way to get that child's attention. That's your job as a teacher. And if educational systems are not making that a profound ingredient in the teaching process, your children are losing in school. And are children losing in school today? Oh, yes. So I say in closing to you, longevity. Eat your fresh fruits and vegetables. Chew everything until it becomes a liquid. And if it doesn't become a liquid, it's not suitable for the human system. Pray, meditate, make positive affirmations, and show everybody love in the process of respect. I didn't say kiss them. Don't hug them. Women don't have to put their breasts on every man. Oh, how you doing? They say, oh, this agape love. No agape for me. You're not putting your chest on my breast because, oh, baby, I haven't seen it. No. That's for your man. That's for your family. That's not for somebody you just know. You just met them. Learn how to handle yourself. Train your daughters how to handle themselves. How to be young ladies. How to sit.
How to be young, gifted, and black. Ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
The
Peace
holistic sexual healing and
love.
family lifestyles with Queen. I ain't see the band. I love my mom. That was
Thank
beautiful,
you,
man.
buddy.
Longevity.
I want to remind everybody, also learn how to fast. Learn how to turn the plate down, not eat anything cooked, lots of sprouts, fruits, vegetable salads, and lots of alkaline water, 3 days a week. You're going to see so many improvements in your skin, your vitality, your energy, everything. Learn how to swim and teach your children. Save yourselves. Give thanks and praises. I love you. Funky
Give it up for
Friday.
the Queen, if you know what I mean. That's right. The Queen brought it to us live right here on the Piece of the Morning Show. We can take it home. We want to let people know about the Summer Soul Funk Festival coming up, hosted by Asia on Saturday, August 25th from 12 to 9 p.m. The talented young brother Ellie will be in the studio. We'll actually be performing DJ R's P-Funk Connection, old school group Slave, the brother Charlie Singleton from Cameo, Phil French, We Are One Band, Zap Band.
Woo!
Zap Band will be
Haven't seen them
live.
forever.
That's right. Saturday, August 25th, the Summer Soul Music Festival, Summer Soul and Funk Festival, hosted by Asia, none other than off of Magic 102.3. And we want to thank you for checking us out today on the Piece of the Morning Show. Thank the brother Austin for coming on the show this morning with the powerful message of why it is important for our young brothers to walk with their pants up and not sagging. definitely a topic that we need to continue to model in terms of our behavior for our young people. Not just talk about it, but actually demonstrate it and show them. And don't talk down to them, but talk up to the brothers.
And in that note, remember the prison pipeline industry complex industry rather. Look it up. Find out what companies, what businesses are investing in the prison pipeline that puts our young men, women, and children in the prison and makes money off of that industry, like Starbucks and Macy's. Get the list of them and hold your dollar.
That's right. Hashtag hold your dollar right here on the Peace of the Morning Show. Invest in those community organizations, those businesses, those people that invest in you.
Right.
If they're not investing in you, you can't find any record, you can't see it on their stock charts, and you can't see it on their website where they're investing in your community directly, then by all means, please make sure that you do not put your dollars there. Tomorrow morning in Annapolis, Maryland, there will be a very powerful session. The Annapolis Art, Sports, and Leadership Academy, along with the Deltas Embody, Empowering Males to Build Opportunities for Development Independence, will have a conversation about race, having difficult conversations by Ms. Letitia Jones, founder and CEO of LJ Solidarity Consulting. Come on out, 9 a.m. to 12. We're looking for any young men, women between the ages of 6 to 18 years old to hear this conversation about race. We want to put something on your mind so you understand who's in charge. You're in charge. You have the power. You are in control. Do what you have. And the brother said, use your swag. Use your natural born given talents and allow those things to come out. You have the power to do whatever it is that you want to do. And that's what we're promoting on the Peace in the Morning Show. This is Darius A. Stanton, thanking our engineer, Mr. Ron, for doing such a beautiful job every Friday morning. Don't forget to check us out, Bowie State University, May 19th, the Arts and Cultural Fair at the Fine Arts Performance Center with T.I. That's right, the brother that's out there with Kanye trying to help him get himself together right now. That's what we got to do, help each other get ourselves together. Ma, love you very much.
Too.
See you at the next go-go.
Yeah.
And we're going to crank it up as we roll out on the Peace in the Morning Show. Thank y'all for joining us. Appreciate your support. Keep on sharing it. We already over 1,000 views a show. We coming at you for some more. Darius A. Stanton on the Peace in the Morning Show. Hope it's Friday, baby. Get out of here. Gotta make it happen.
Friday.